today's little lesson. Not even gonna look to see who that is. Okay, today we talk volume. And as everyone can tell me, volume is what? How is volume different than area, different than regular measurement? It is, Olivia.
It's the inside volume of the 3D shape.
Yeah, but you're figuring out how many cubes big something is. It's three-dimensional. And again, it all depends on what size the cube you're working with is. You know, a cubic centimeter ain't terribly big. A cubic inch is a little bit bigger because it's an inch on every side. You know, a cubic foot, 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot, something like that. That's a decent size thing. What's that? Foot by foot by foot. Now, up until this point, ladies and gentlemen, how have you found volume? Clausing? Volume is found by doing what? Let me give you, for example, you've got this shoebox, something like this. And it is 4 inches by 4 inches by 8 inches. Volume of a rectangular prism. Clausing, did you come up with an answer on that? Is what? Yeah, usually you go which order in that. Usually it's length times width times height. Okay, right? Please tell me this is ring some sort of a bell in your head.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with that being said, children, and if, let's just do the problem. So volume equals, it doesn't matter what you call what because of, you know, whatever the commutative property. 16 times 8, somebody? 128, is it not? 16 times 8, 128. Is it 128? So volume is 128 inches. So make sure you label it cubic inches. Now, that is all well and good. Make sure you highlight this. This is for rectangular prisms only. Because I have to get it out of your head that that is what you're going to do every time now. In volume, we have a brand spanking new formula that works for everything. Unfortunately, it's very vague, and this is what it is. Write this down in bright, beautiful letters and highlight it so you will always remember it. Volume, I don't like it there. Can I move it? Volume, children, kids of all ages, volume see, it always works when you grab this one. Volume is, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. This. Area of base, let's put that in parentheses, times height. Or, this is what it looks like in its shortened condensed form. Volume equals capital B times H. Let's try to make our capital B kind of crazy. Uh-oh. Joseph, can you read your handwriting? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in order for this, ladies and so
I just have a question.
do you guys have a question about how to do this before I've explained it, or
No, for the
oh, I got who? 128. Wait, Which one are we going back to?
I thought
So,
that said 12 Y. I don't know.
what's 12y?
I thought the volume was 12 Y is the 128.
Did you say my 8 looks like a Y?
That's
Oh,
what
it
I
does
thought.
look like a Y.
Yeah.
I see it now. I apologize, my handwriting is just not very good today. Oh, is that better?
Yes.
I see it, I didn't see it first now. Okay, in order to be able to do this, ladies and gentlemen, you must understand this. First of all, you must know what the base is. What is the base of a shape? It is not the bottom always. And that's what you gotta get out of your head. We always think something sets on its base, but that is not always the case. For example, okay, if I put this shape in front of you like this, the base is not that rectangle. And for the base, I think I've talked to you about this, you must think of what I like to call my loaf of bread theory. Remember the theory?
Yeah.
The loaf of bread theory simply states this. If the shape you're looking at just came out of the oven and it happened to be that shape, and you were going to make toast or a sandwich of it, what way would you slice it so that your sandwich would have the exact same looking top and bottom? Because you don't want, like, if I slice this, like, started cutting like this, I'm going to keep getting rectangles, but as I keep getting rectangles, they're going to get smaller and bigger because the thing gets bigger wider. That's not the way. If this was a loaf of bread, I would not be slicing it like this. If this was the loaf of bread, I'd be slicing it what way, Madison?
The way where you see the octagon.
Oh, good. That's a pentagon. So you're close on that. Yes. Okay. That is the base. Whatever shape gets you the same exactly the same consistent shape, I guess would be the thing. Okay, shape consistently. And then the height, children, everybody always thinks about the height as how tall something stands, but that's not always the case depending on what the shape is setting on. The height is always perpendicular to the base. So if I'm looking at the height of this shape, I'd have to set it on its base, which maybe it wasn't, and that's how tall it is while it's sitting on the base. This is the base, the height is perpendicular to it, the right angle that goes perpendicular to that base. This, ladies and gentlemen, is your volume formula that works for everything. Now why it works for rectangular prisms as well. The deal with the rectangular prism is that every side could be a base, because every side you could, if this was your loaf of bread, you could slice this 3 different ways and still get the same thing, which is okay because it works either way. It's just as easy just to go multiply the 3 dimensions together. That does not work for every shape, which we will see right here. Take a look at this shape. Ready for example? You can talk to in a maze and tell your friends. Here's where your 3-dimensional isometric drawing comes in. I should have you take it out, but I won't. This is the shape I want you to draw. See what you can do with this. Let's put some dimensions on this thing. 12, 12, 15, 20, 10. 12, 12, 12. I messed up on that. 20, 10. And let's make this, what's an easy measurement? Let's make it inches. Shall we go inches? Let's go inches, kids. That's the easy way out. Okay. And I am asked to find the volume of this shape. I am going to take this incredibly super slow. Whether you do this on your homework or not, I don't know. Oh, you know what I hate?
What?
I hate when I go to a new screen and I don't go back to the top, so I have no room on the bottom and it's all on the top. That is kind of a downer.
Yeah.
Think I can move it?
Yes.
No, probably not.
It might be.
Rarely. The problem is, I should. And I lose it every time. I gotta find a big.
You can do it.
Oh, hey, watch. I've got a solution. Check this out. This is thinking outside the box. I am going to draw a big shape that I can catch. That's going to be my dot. Does that make sense? You guys see what I'm doing?
No.
The reason I can't move it is because when I tap the lines, it's not calibrated enough because that's a really small area for me to try to find. But if I put a big dot on there, sorry. If I put a big dot on there,
Ew, looks like a fish.
I should. I missed half of it. Try again. If I put a big dot on there, I should be able to catch it. See, I did.
Yay!
Okay,
Spinal.
let me break this down into small, compact, easy things. If you see this problem on your assignment, the first thing you would do, Emily, is if you see this problem in the book, the first thing you'll do is, thank you very much. The second thing, Joseph, oh boy. Failure, ladies and gentlemen. Failure. John, write the formula, which is, it's a simple formula. It's really pretty simple here. Chase? Volume equals capital B times height. Now, it might be, well, you'd have to, at this point, that dot's going to drive me crazy, but at this point, you'd have to say, what is the shape of the base? And maybe off to the side here, you should write, the base is, what is the shape of the base on this thing here? Oh boy. Emma, if it's a loaf of bread, how am I going to cut it so that I keep getting the exact same shape?
Oh, you take it for like the L is standing on
So what is the base? What shape is the base?
the like side right there or like the side on the back side.
Yeah, right there is very good.
Like the
don't
top
think
level.
I don't think we're on the same page here. What is my toast going to look like if I cut this that I get all the same equal pieces here? Bri? Is it going to be a quadrilateral? Is it going to be 4 sides? Is it going to be 5 sides, 6 sides? Is it going to be the shape of a T, an M, a square, a box, a rectangle? Grace?
East side is like that.
Yeah. You will be cutting it perpendicular or parallel to these things. You're always going, this is your bread. That's the shape you will always get if you keep slicing it through this. It is going to be this shape right here. Let me draw it here. This L or whatever shape. It is this. The yellow side is my base because if I slice it any other way, I'm going to keep getting other different shapes. If I cut it this way along this red thing, yeah, it's going to stay consistent until I get here, but then when I cut here, I'm going to get a really big rectangle going all the way back. Same thing here. I could cut it like this, but I'm going to keep getting this till I get to here, and then I'm going to get real big ones. The base is this shape right here, which means the height, and here's what I would do, is because if you'll get confused in all this if you don't think outside the box or keep up. What is the height of my shape then? If this is my base, how tall is the shape?
10 inches. Wait.
Emma?
27?
27, I don't know. If I set this thing on its base, how tall will it be? Which, by the way, I believe it's already setting on its base. Emily?
22?
If I set this thing on its base, which I think it already is, because this bottom is the same, how tall is it perpendicular to the base? See the yellow, ladies and gentlemen, this is my base. What measurement is perpendicular to that? Kayla, please tell me.
10 inches.
Hopefully so, if somebody picks up on that.
10 inches.
Why?
Because it's the height.
These are all 10 inches, it's all 10 inches high, the whole shape. I love that, it's 10 inches. I would at this point, people, make sure I put my 10 in here. Because what will happen is it takes so much time to figure out the area of the base, you'll forget that in the end, you have to multiply that by 10. So here's my base, I need to find the area of my base, which means, again, it gets a little complicated because it's not that easy. This is 12, right? Okay, let's switch my pen. This was 12, because that's this piece here. This is 12. This is 15. And what is this piece here? 20. Wow, that's really off, isn't it? And this is a complicated shape. I'm going to have to cut it. It doesn't matter which way I cut it. Let's cut it like this. What's the area of this chunk right here? 12 times 12? Anybody? 144. Then what's the area of this big long rectangle here? 20 times not 15, but 20 times 27. Oh boy.
27.
Right. It's 15 from here to here. I need to add this chunk right here because I'm finding this rectangle. 15 and 12 is 27. 27, 540, is it not?
Yes.
So the area of the whole base, I have to add the 540 plus the 144 is what? 684. And it's at this point, I would say in a normal course, we'll probably forget what you're supposed to do, but since we wrote it down here, 684 times 10 is 6,840 inches cubed. Do you remember back in 6th grade when I said
Math was gonna be hard.
math would be a little tougher? Well, welcome to the world here. Caleb,
Isn't this just like area except for the meat instead of because like
it's like area except now you have to multiply by the height so you get louder. It is, but it isn't. It's all like multiplication except you have to do it 12 times or whatever, yeah. So let's take a look at another one just because I think we are getting nowhere. I mean somewhere. Look at page, if you would, 290. 290. Let's go through the whole process one more time. Letter E, do you see it there? Letter E, page 90, it says, what is the volume of this block T? So from the very beginning. Step number 1, Gianna, is 2. So let's do that as best you can, as best I can. I've learned my lesson. My T looks like this. And make sure you're drawing all of your dimensions and all that sort of stuff there. How about that for a T? Not bad. 2, 2, 8, 3, 2, 2, 8. Well, a lot of 8s and a lot of 2s and a couple of 3s. 2, 8, 3, 2, 8, 3, 2, 2, 8. Have we got the letter T there, the block letter T? 1. That was Dolphin for pick up the pace.
I was gonna get a special.
All right, step number 2, you already got it drawn, then would be to,
Where's the formula?
and the formula is simple for this, volume equals area of the base times height. Now I would say, fill in the blanks here, I always try to put my height in there. First of all, what is my base? What shape is my base?
See,
You keep slicing it, you're always going to get T's. And if the T is my base, what is my height? 2. I'll put my 2 in there. I need to figure out what my area of the base is, and that'll get my volume. I probably would redraw my base just so I have it. It's the letter T. Looks like this. God bless you. And it is 2, 8, 3, 2, 8. Right? What is going to be the area of that? well, let's do, doesn't matter how you cut it, well, let's cut it like this. What's the area of this big, long rectangle here? 2 times 8 is 16. And then we've got this rectangle here, which is 8 times 2, 16. So the total area is 32. And that goes right here. And then my volume then is going to be 32 times 2, 64, whatever it was, centimeters. We do have to ask about number 20. No. Band people, take a